Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Midweek Minis, the show where you get to ask us questions and tell us your own fun, personal, paranormal stories. I'm Mitch Lawrence, and that's my wife Leah Lawrence.
Hey y'all.
And we are excited to bring you another personal story this week, and from what Leah tells me, it's a very long one, so this could be the whole episode, maybe. That'd be fun.
Woohoo.
What do you think about that? You think it's going to be?
I have no idea, but we're going to find out.
Okay.
This email was sent to me by our fan, Leanne. She's on the Facebook group, so if you want to go say hey to Leanne, say hey to Leanne.
Hey, Leanne.
Join our Facebook community group. It's really fun. You'll enjoy us. We post a lot of memes and talk about how fucking hot it is in Alabama. But beyond that, she says, hey, Mitch and Leah, my grandfather just shared a story with me that I thought you might be interested in. It's based on a true story that happened here in 1930s in my hometown. My grandfather wrote this short story about the event. The names have been changed even though it was so long ago. You're welcome to share it on the podcast if you'd like, or you can just read it for your own enjoyment. Well, I did read it already for my own enjoyment, and it was wonderful, so we are going to share it on the podcast. Like
Exciting.
I said, this is a short story, so, it's not a first person kind of, it's a piece of literature, and her grandfather's name is Ed. Just putting that out there, and he's the one who wrote this. So,
hi, Ed.
It's called Gladys Tillman.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go. Gladys Tillman sat beside her husband's bed. He slept hard, snoring every so often. Whenever he twitched, she would reach out and sometimes touch him. During the night, he sweated a lot. He hadn't vomited today or had any diarrhea, and that was good. The end may be coming sooner rather than later, she thought. She got up and walked over to the bedroom window. She stared at the thick woods beyond their backyard. Her nerves had finally settled after 3 days with him in the bedroom, and now she had a new feeling coming over her. Peace and a calmness that she had not felt in a long time. Thank God, she said aloud, turning around to stare at him. It won't be long now. She went back to the chair. She wanted to know if he could still hear her. Do you remember our wedding, Boyd? She said to him. She felt his pulse. It was weak, but steady. She put her hand on his head and felt heat. 17 years ago, Gladys Nix had married Boyd Tillman in a little ceremony at the Mount View Baptist Church. The church was only 2 miles from Boyd Tillman's house. His first wife had passed away, and he had courted Gladys hard within 6 months of his first wife's death. Gladys was single and a school teacher in her second year at Clarksville Elementary when she met Boyd. After their first date, she was smitten with him. She liked his rugged good looks and the fact that he lived on a beautiful farm in the country, secluded but with a nice view of the mountains. He surprised her by opening his eyes for a moment. I remember, came out of his thin, wet lips. The wedding? He nodded slowly. His eyes shut again. Uh-huh. In a way, Gladys was surprised he could still talk, but then, knowing how strong he used to be, she was not surprised. And not surprised it was taking him so long to die. She had planned on it. Uh-huh, she said back to his face. What else can you remember about us? He opened his mouth, tried to talk, and gagged, dry heaving. His legs twitched, and he raised his arms. Gladys had long since quit holding a pan under his chin to catch vomit. She knew there was not a morsel left in his body. He moved both hands to his stomach and turned his head to her. Pain. Stomach. Killing me. Your stomach's killing you, Boyd? A tiny slit appeared between his eyelids. Call Herr Doc, he said. Call Dr. Harris? Is that what you want me to do? Uh-huh. Okay, Gladys said, raising from her chair. I'll go downstairs and do that. Now you lay still. Don't try to get up. Going down the steps to the kitchen, she smiled. There was no way on earth her husband could get out of that bed by himself now. She washed her hands at the kitchen sink and fixed a glass of iced tea. She sat at the kitchen table, picked up the local paper, and turned to the obituaries. She had a pad and pen on the table, and glancing at the paper, she sipped her iced tea and started writing out Boyd Tillman's obituary. The idea of tormenting him when he reached his final state had crossed her mind several times. She reasoned it would be out of character for her, but not out of character for him if the tables were turned. She worked for a while on the obituary, finished her tea, and walked back upstairs to the bedroom. His breathing was erratic. She touched his forehead and then ran her fingers through his hair, picking up loose hairs between her fingers. A few more hours like this, and he might be bald, she thought. She sat in the chair. Boyd turned his head to her and said, "Doc?" "Oh, yes, I almost forgot to tell you. Dr. Harris is sick himself." Boyd pushed on his stomach with both hands. "Pain. Kill. The pain's killing you, right?" Boyd moved his head slowly up and down. Gladys watched more sweat roll down his face and drop onto his neck and chest. The stench of his sweat and vomit and urine and soiled clothes seemed to be growing stronger with each passing hour. She went to the window and raised it. She would have to get Hattie Sims to come over after he died and help her clean up the bedroom. "Is it killing you as bad as a broken arm, Boyd?" she asked. He turned his head to her. An arm that's broken in 2 places so bad that a person can't turn it and use it like she used to? Reckon your stomach hurts that bad, Boyd?" He opened his eyes, a puzzled look on his wet face. "Or how about a lick on the back of your head with a piece of stove wood? A hard stick of red oak. Does your stomach hurt as bad as that? But then you've never had a concussion, have you, Boyd?" He continued to stare. "How about being locked out of your own house and having to sleep on the porch all night with the temperature below 30 degrees and sleeting?" She figured he may now have the notion that something was happening against him. The glazed reflection in his wide pupils suggested as much. A somber realization was hopefully occurring inside his brain. She leaned close to his face and smiled. It was time to let him know the truth. "What do you think, Boyd, now that you're at death's door?" He tried to talk. Saliva dripped from the corners of his mouth. His eyes seemed to widen. "Your time on earth is almost over," she said. She walked to him. She watched him try to raise his arms, try to turn his body towards her. "You can't get up, Boyd. You'll probably be in hell in a few more hours," she said. His lips parted. "What?" she asked loudly. "You want to know what is happening to you?" Gladys leaned close to his face, ignoring the strong, acetic garlic smell coming from his mouth. She needed to say something else before he started having convulsions or lapsed into a coma. "I have poisoned you, my beloved husband. You were once a wonderful man for a short time after we were married, but your evil or your psychotic side or whatever came out of you, and you were the most abusive man I have ever heard of. You made my life a living hell, so goodbye." Gladys sat back in her chair and waited. His eyes searched her puzzled face. She looked away, having said all she wanted to tell him. She thought of Boyd's first wife and wondered how she died, what she had to endure. No matter, he was getting what he deserves, and she would get whatever the law and the court decides she deserves. It didn't matter now. The victim has finally become the perpetrator, and yes, the executioner, she said aloud. She was exhausted. That afternoon, Gladys was sitting in the kitchen, drinking iced tea, when she heard and felt a thump from upstairs in the bedroom. She found Boyd on the floor beside the bed in a fetal position with blood draining out of his mouth. He was dead. Finally. She sat in the chair for a while and looked at him, thinking about the few good times and the many bad times. She hoped the court goes easy on her. She could maybe teach in prison if they didn't decide to electrocute her. The trial began 3 weeks after the grand jury indicted Gladys for Boyd Tillman's murder. The courtroom was packed for the first day, and the district attorney promised that it would be a speedy trial since the defendant, Mrs. Gladys Tillman, had admitted under oath that she had deliberately poisoned her husband. Holding a half-empty box of rat poison up for the jury to see, he said, "This is what's left in the box of rat poison that she used to kill her husband. This box was given freely to Sheriff Lawson as soon as he arrested her." Over 2 days, the DA and his assistant moved rapidly through the scenario that Gladys had outlined in her confession, but he portrayed Boyd Tillman as a hard-working farmer, an upstanding county citizen. The DA admitted that Tillman had on occasion showed a temper and a tendency to want to be in control of everything, but the poor man had never done anything to anyone that warranted him being poisoned to death. The DA spent 2 hours explaining and showing the jury with graphs and statistics on big sheets of paper sitting on an easel the effects of arsenic poisoning on an individual's body, how the slow, agonizing pain had racked Boyd Tillman's body for days before he succumbed. Gladys hired Bobby Joe Mason as her attorney. Bobby Joe knew her and Boyd somewhat, and he had fixed their wills a few years back and had handled some land Boyd had sold. Everyone in Habersham County respected Bobby Joe, even if he did drink occasionally. The rumor around Clarksville was that Bobby Joe Mason, without a doubt, was the best defense attorney you could hire, if he was sober. And if he was not sober, he was still the second best. Gladys placed her future in his hands and told him every detail of her and Boyd's 17-year marriage. The DA did not call Gladys to the witness stand. He had read the confession and deposition and knew that Bobby Joe Mason would put her on the stand and bring out many of the abusive details of the Tillmans' marriage. He, of course, would cross-examine her. He planned to reiterate in his cross-examining and in his closing statement to the jury that Gladys Tillman should have gone to the proper authorities if she was being abused, that no one has the right to take the law into their own hands, that she had murdered her husband when there was no apparent and immediate danger to herself. He was confident in his ability to convey the importance of that basic principle, and he was not seeking the death penalty but was asking for life in prison for Gladys Tillman. Bobby Joe Mason had coached Gladys for several hours in his office. The fact that she was going to be telling the truth, he told her, was important. The jury would hopefully see that and have empathy for her. He told her that would be key to winning the case, to have the jury feel that they could understand why she did what she did. And most importantly, they might have done the same thing if they had been in her shoes. On the witness stand, Gladys Tillman answered all of Bobby Joe Mason's questions, reciting the details of her husband's physical and mental abuses. Several times the DA objected to Mason's questions. Judge Burton overruled him each time. The last questions Bobby Joe Mason asked her concerned her right arm. "Please hold up your right arm, Miss Tillman," he said. Gladys held up her arm as far as she could until the right hand was about even with her head. "Is that as far as you can reach up?" "Yes, sir, it is." "Does it hurt?" "Yes, sir. Especially hurts when we have cold or wet weather." "And now, Mrs. Tillman, as a school teacher, don't you write instructions and things on the blackboard for your students to read?" "Yes, sir, I do." "I did, rather. Since your husband shattered your arm in 2 places, have you been able to write on the blackboard?" "No, sir, I haven't." "Now, Mrs. Tillman, would you tell the jury what you did that so enraged your husband that he grabbed you, twisting your arm and slinging you against the wall and down on the floor in your kitchen, permanently damaging your right arm?" I burned the biscuits. Forgot them being in the oven while I was fixing his eggs and bacon." Bobby Joe Mason had been watching the jury while Gladys talked. He turned and nodded to her, and she lowered her arm. "You burnt his biscuits?" he asked. "That's right." Bobby Joe Mason walked over in front of the jury box. He leaned over and placed both his palms on the railing looking at the jurors, and he asked very slowly and very loud, "You burnt his biscuits, Miss Tillman?" He let the words hang in the air. "Yes, I did," she answered. There was a silence until Judge Burton finally asked, "Any more questions, Mr. Mason?" "No, Your Honor," he answered. "That is all." Gladys Tillman was found not guilty. It took the jury only 45 minutes to reach the decision. She sold the farm and moved to Savannah, Georgia, where she teaches in a private school. She still suffers physically and mentally from Boyd Tillman's abusive behavior. Her right arm aches bad in cold weather and when it rains. Some folks say she got away with murder. Others say Boyd Tillman got what he deserved. Either way, most folks say, if you need a good lawyer, call Bobby Joe Mason. Sober or drunk, he is the best. And that's the end.
Okay. Well, can it be both Like, can't she have gotten away with murder and he got what he deserved?
I feel like that's kind of a justified sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she was justified, but, like, she's definitely not guilty, you know. She's definitely guilty of killing him at the same time.
100%, but, you know, what are you going to do?
Well, look at the time. God, that's wonderful. We could do, like, one question. That's perfect, because we're kind of low. So, how exciting, y'all. That was really fun. So, if anybody else has stuff like that, send it in.
Yeah, or creepypastas that you write or whatever. I'm game for anything, as you've heard.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked that a lot, y'all. Let's do those again. Let's get some questions for now, though. All right, from Leanne C. I just added this one to the bag. What do you know? What's your favorite go-to alcoholic drink at home? And then add on at a bar. So what's your favorite drink to have at home, Leah?
The pickle martinis. Just
that we made last week.
Yeah, that has quickly become my favorite thing. It's easy and you don't need a lot of ingredients.
2 weeks ago, whenever it was.
Yeah, it's vodka and pickle juice, and it's like, yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
At a bar, I really like whiskey sours because it's hard to fuck one of those up. And I like Midori sours if I'm feeling super fruity. Or basically just any of the bitch drinks that they've got on the, like, because I fucking love an expensive cocktail with all the fruit juices and the garnishes and the just, like, I don't understand people going out and being like, oh my God, I can't order a pink drink. No, bitch, order the pink drink. You're gonna fucking love it. Bitch. It's gonna be wonderful.
Order the pink drink.
Yeah, so like I said, if it's at a bar and I'm just like hanging out and, you know, yeah, just a whiskey sour is pretty standard and easy to go. But like if we're at a fancy bar that like has like a cocktail menu, I'm going to pick the fruitiest, pinkest thing that I can find.
Yeah, I agree with you that you will do that. For me at home, I like to keep it really simple. So I'll have like a scotch on the rocks or something. Or what I've been drinking lately at home, which are like 1 or 2 at the most, is whatever we have left over from recording. So we get a 6-pack of beer to have on the show. We review them, drink 2 or 3 of them, and then I've got 2 or 3 left over. So I'll drink whatever we have left, you know. At a bar, pretty much whatever the special is. I'll try it, and if I like it, I'll drink it. There's a gaming bar in Huntsville that has really fun video game themed drinks that are incredible. What's the Donkey Kong one? It's like a banana cream drink, and it's wonderful.
Banana Barrel, I believe, is what they call it.
It's so good.
It's a banana chocolate thing, and it's really good.
Yeah.
They also have a Princess Peach thing that has a slice of peach in it, and it's really good.
Yeah. This is a slice of peach, or is it a peach ring?
It's a slice of peach.
Oh, it's so good, though. Oh, but yeah, at a bar, I like to go places that have a lot of options on tap. And like I said, anything special-wise for a cocktail, I'll drink anything, pretty much. So that's my thing. And another one I just added from Leanne C. It's a long one, Leah.
Okay.
With a couple of different parts. Leah, as a married woman of a certain age, do you get many questions about when you and Mitch are having kids?
Okay. I object to the of a certain age. I'm 29 years old.
You're very old.
Thank you very much. Excuse you. And two, his mom asks us all the time, but nobody else does.
She's going to have to get over it. And how does that make you feel, / how do you handle it? I know you've mentioned that you don't like tiny humans.
Yeah, other people's kids make me slightly uncomfortable. Like, I'm fine with kids. I'm actually really good at teaching children. I've worked in children's theater since I was in high school. I'm great with kids, but I'm not the person that, like, loves children, if that makes sense.
It does.
So yeah, like, I would be fine with having one of my own, but I'm not going to babysit yours, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, how does that make me feel? Like, whatever. Like, most of the people that I know that are my age don't have kids yet either. It's kind of changing to that. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people my age don't have kids and don't want them. I don't say that I don't want them. I just... It's not there yet, but
we're not in a position to be having a kid right now.
No, but I mean, maybe shortly that would be great, but definitely not more than one because I can't. I'm sorry.
Just from our perspective, think about it this way: we've been doing this show for a year.
Yeah.
Leah just started doing the other show that she's doing. I'm still in school trying to finish. And if Leah gets pregnant right now, that's 9 months where she can't drink. And on top of that, after the child's born, we have like 2 years of constant interruption where recording an hour and a half long episode is going to be a goddamn nightmare. Yeah. So we just don't want to do it right now. And we also enjoy traveling. We enjoy spending money on the things we want to do. And yeah, that might be a really selfish way to do it, but I know far too many people who had honeymoon babies and then their marriage got wrecked. And I'm like, okay, we've been married for 3 years now. I think that we're just going to keep enjoying our happiness for a little bit.
Yeah. So, give it a year maybe or so, and we'll see.
Yeah, because we don't have, we argue like every couple does, but we don't have major problems between us. And I feel like throwing a child in that mix would almost definitely cause major problems somehow. And it would be like me wanting to record, but Leah can't drink. And then after the kid's born, Leah wanting to record, and I'm like, yeah, but I was up all night because the kid was, and I'm just, I'm very selfish when it comes to stuff like that. Sorry. So, but the question was more directed at you, Leah. I hijacked it.
Yeah. So no Southern Spirits baby quite yet, but eventually, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. We've talked about fostering and adopting as well. So, we never really know if something's going to come up like that. No.
Or if there's going to be an oopsie baby, who knows?
Yeah, well, thankfully, that hasn't occurred. I'm not in a position to take responsibility for someone else right now. The dogs have my full attention and responsibility at this point. The cat takes care of himself, so, he's not important at this point. Look at this. Third one I just added to the bag from Leanne C.
This is Leanne's episode.
Yeah, for real. She had the story too, didn't she? Good God. Will you guys ever consider another live show?
I want to do another live show real bad. It's just finding the time and a place that will host us.
Right. Well, like we've said before, we haven't even really tried since the last one because we've been so crazy busy.
Yeah. The first one was just awesome because it kind of fell into our laps. Yeah. Allison worked there. And by the way, she's soon to have a baby of her own. So congratulations, Allison. Yay. We're so happy for you. But that being said, like I said, we just have to make arrangements with maybe another brewery, something that's a little bit closer to where most of our fans live, which would be sort of the Birmingham, Montgomery, that kind of, maybe even Huntsville. We've just got to find a place that will have us. So that being said, if anybody knows a place, if you've got the hookup, if you know a place that just needs some fun entertainment, we have 2 shows that could...
Fucking dog.
Yeah, we have 2 shows that could, Trailer Trashy could open for Southern Spirits. I don't know. I'm just saying, it would be really fun.
That would be fun.
It would be a lovely. It would be a lovely night.
Samus, come on, Mama's talking.
If anyone has the hookup with a brewery, a small theater, anything that needs some free entertainment, we're available.
Yeah, we are, and I would love to do it as well because it was fun the first time. I just got way too drunk, and I will not do that again.
No, you won't.
Because that was bad. See, that's the thing. I think I may have turned them off when I got so drunk because it was like I broke a glass after we had finished recording.
I was sitting there. About that.
Yeah, I was sitting there trying to save the file, the recorded file that we had, and I moved my microphone out of my face, and it knocked the glass off the table. And I was like, "Yes, I'm drunk, but I'm not that drunk." Okay, I'm sorry. And Allison was quick to be like, no, it's fine. People break glasses here all the time. And I was like, yeah, but, I'm the entertainment. I'm not supposed to go breaking TVs and shit, which, we didn't do that, but you know what I mean. Like, we didn't. Anyway, I definitely got too drunk at that show, but lesson learned, that won't happen again. Y'all can rest assured about that. But again, we have talked about sending out like a mass email to a bunch of different places to see because we have breweries really close to us right around that have live entertainment all the time. So, it's just a matter of if people would want to have us, if people would come to see us, we do want to do it. Yes. That's the answer to the question. Let's go back and remove all of that. Yes, we would consider. We are considering. We're heavily considering. But
so, yeah, if you have the hookup, if you're on the panel of maybe a local convention or if you've got a theater, a bar, whatever, if you know that you can help us get booked somewhere, we're in and we're free. So
yeah, we don't charge because we don't have people coming to buy tickets.
No. So
it's just
we're available Southeast, y'all.
Yeah.
Pick us.
Find us. But don't find us, bring us to you. But yeah, we can't. It's also hard for us to travel a long distance. We work during the week, so we'd love to. That's the answer. But yeah, next time that we have one, y'all will be the first to know. Maybe even before we do, at this rate. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed having that really, really long story. That was really fun. It was also quite entertaining to sit and listen to. So it was suspenseful, hit all the right notes. Everything worked. Everything worked, Leanne. Send us another one. Sounds like your grandfather may have been a writer.
Yep.
So yeah, send us another one. All right, we will see you on Sunday for the main episode.
Bye, y'all.